if they would take just a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops, and just talk to us about some of the issues that they have dealt with in their own marriages and their own families. I told them they could hit whatever they wanted to within a marriage. It could be, raising children. But what I want you guys to see is that sometimes we get the impression that the people up front just have everything together and our life would be easy too if it was as easy as theirs. But the truth is that this is a road that every one of us have had to walk through. So I've asked Chuck and Kathy if they would come today and just share with us a little bit of some of the principles that they have learned along the way in this whole thing called relationships.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Chuck, and this is my beautiful wife, Kathy, very talented. And we met. I don't want to interrupt you. Okay. Anyways, what goes on is we met in 1999 at a church in somebody's house. I had been asked to leave a church because doctrinal differences. I had gotten huge masses of deliverance, and they say that doesn't work. But don't tell me a Band-Aid doesn't stop a wound, so I was asked to leave rather than bring heresy into the church, which was not a problem to me. I've been thrown out of better places. Anyways, I met Kathy there. Her daughter was the guy that ran the thing. I worked with him at General Motors, and his son was married to Kathy's daughter. So we met there, and it was love at first sight. I mean, I seriously, she saw me and just fell in love. So, oh, I know, it's the other way around. Yeah, she fell in love, and then she saw me. Anyways, what happened is we had dated for a while, and her son lived in Vero Beach, Fort Pierce, over there on the coast. And she had come down here from her last divorce and wanted to change the lifestyle, so she came down here, and she ran back to Toledo. I don't know why. But anyways, it was interesting that she asked me, we weren't married, to go with her down to pick up some stuff that she left there. So we drew our guidelines. I mean, we both had in our minds, I'm not getting married again. I've been married so many times, I told people, I got rice marks from me from being married to me. And you stop and you think about it, we've both been through divorce. I'd been divorced for almost 9 years. I'm like 8 years, I don't know, quite a while. 7 years, it seemed like forever. Anyways, it's funny because that was it. And then we went on that trip, and I had a timeshare, and we stayed right on Vero Beach. Beautiful condo right on the beach, and it had this huge king-size bed that she slept in, and I slept on the couch because we wanted to honor God. We came back from that trip, and we pursued our relationship. I asked her to marry me after I came back from Aruba with my buddy on a golf trip. That's a different story. Anyway, she got flowers, though. Nothing says it like flowers. So anyways.
One time. Oh, yeah. I got one rose and I got a dozen, but haven't had any since. Just so you know.
I got flowers on my pepper plant out there for you. Anyways, we got married February of 1999. So actually we met in 98. That seems like, anyways. So the house church we were at was kind of falling apart for many, many reasons. And we were looking for a home church. So we started church shopping. And that is about the dumbest thing you can do. I'm serious. Church shopping can be really, because I want to find some place where I'm comfortable. And you can stay in your living room. I mean, the thing was, is we found churches where the pastors were on fire and the congregation was dead. They were older than us. We were old people. We thought they were old people. And so then we went to a place where the church was kind of hopping, and that was casual. You know, when they took a break after the worship and everyone outside and had coffee and smoked a cigarette, come on back in. And so anyways, it was good. I mean, but it wasn't home. And then somebody I met at work said, hey, you ought to come to our church. These people are nuts. Well, she didn't say it like that. She says, you'll really love it. And in Psalm 68, verse 6, it says, God puts the lonely in families. And we weren't lonely. We had each other, but we didn't have a family. And we had kids and stuff, but we did not have a church family. And then we ventured in to meet Keith and Shannon. I won't go into how we met Keith because no, I ain't got that much time. Anyways, it was a very interesting thing. We came for a Saturday night prayer. That was in June of 99? August of 99? I can't remember when. Anyways, next thing I know, we are part of this huge family. And man, you think from there, I mean, everything was great. God was working in our lives. We were growing spiritually. And you think it's all good. And then her son down here moved back to Toledo because he was ill. And he passed in 2003. Her son passed away January 17th. And it was devastating to us, to say the least. He was 36 at the time. And we did not know how to handle it. We prayed to God for strength. Our church family picked us up again, and all was good. Our daughter got sick. 10 weeks later, she passes away. And it's like we're in a boat going where we don't know where we're going. And in my mind, Jesus was sleeping in the back of the boat like he didn't care. And this was devastating to us. This girl received Christ, and she was amazing. I miss her daily. You guys missed her because you never got to meet her. But seeing how God carried us through that season, and Kathy especially, I mean, women at the church, our family came together and comforted us. And it was amazing because we had made a thing. We don't argue. We never, ever argue.
We have intense fellowship.
Yeah, very intense fellowship sometimes. We don't argue generally because I'm right. It takes her a while to come around to it, but it's been really amazing from that time of that tragedy in our lives to see how God has blessed us. Now I'm not saying it was a blessing losing the children. The blessing is how God can comfort you through any trial and any tribulation. And then we've done. Keith and Shannon were our family. They moved over to the other side of town, started another church, and they thought they got rid of us. We showed up there. And then they got tired of us there, and they moved all the way to Florida, and now look what happened. But part of being a family is being family to others, those that walk in the door for the first time. And I heard this Wednesday at our men's Bible study, and Bill, you remember this, what Charles said. In every one of us, there's a hole in your heart. Remember when he said this, Ken? It's a cross-shaped heart, a hole. It's a cross-shaped hole in your heart. And you try everything to fill that hole, that emptiness in your heart, and nothing fits until you find Christ. And when he brought Kathy into my life, I had someone to help me push the piece into my heart further, and I knew more about God. I don't know where I'd be had I not got married. I mean, I'd try not to think about it because I know where I was at before. And yet God had put me the perfect mate to keep me somewhat sane, I guess you'd say. Best is this is about as good as it gets. Shut up, they're not keeping it. So anyways, the thing is our blessing keeps coming. We had our only daughter left, came down here and stayed with us. She was on drugs, and chaos just followed her, and it was crazy. And I resolved not to give any more advice, but to go to God in prayer. I no longer had to wake him up in the back of the boat. I didn't have to wait. I knew he was there with us, and I just had to bow before him and pray. And now our daughter has given her life back to the Lord, baptized. I mean, she's just, this is the girl that led my wife to the Lord, has come back, the prodigal. And so this has been great. So I don't know what struggles you're going through in a marriage or any relationship, but unless God is in the midst of it, early on I told Kathy, getting married, her job was not to make me happy. It's not her job. She can add to my happiness. If I'm not already happy in the Lord, there's nothing she can do to make me happy continual. And God has proved himself to be faithful to both of us. In the times of all of our struggles, he's been that thing that keeps constant. So that's my story.
My name's Cathy D, and I approve this message.
I made her say that.
Cool. How many of you guys have found that when you go through really hard times in your family, that God sends people around you to pick you up and to help walk you through that, where you look at it, you'd say, I don't know how I would ever go through that and make it. And yet when those times hit, the family of God and the people that God puts in your life, your Christian brothers and sisters, are the ones who hold your arms up. Man, what an awesome God. Amen.